Hello, my friends traders. Caroline Alexander here, graduate student of the Grok Trade Mentoring Program. It is Wednesday, August 17th of 2011, and we are looking at the news daily chart and hope you're so excited to do some technical analysis here with me. So let's do it. Let's get into the meat of things and let's analyze that chart a little bit so that you know what's happening. So what I do see on this chart is a really nice high base formation. As I mentioned to you a few days ago and again yesterday, that we were looking for a high base formation forming at the top of that little up run that we've had here so far on a non-confirming volume. So that was a really low volume trading right here on that way up, on our way up, right before we settle down a little bit. We're resting here and getting ready for some major move one way or the other. So we are having that little high base formation right here at the top of that little up run between, we're actually in a tight trading range right here, trading between the high of today. We made a new high a little bit here, so we went higher than yesterday and it was at the 54.42 mark, and then also the low of August 12th, which was at the 52.88. So that is our little tight trading range right here that we need to pay really close attention to, because if we ever break through the high of today, break through the 54.42 and close above it, we could continue to the upside and trying to push it all the way up to that next area of resistance that we've been talking about here for a few days, which is at the 55.30 mark. And then the next big one would be right here, where you see those two beautiful moving averages, the 50-day moving average and then the 200-day moving average, which is here in blue, and then the major area right below them is the one that I'm trying to show you here, and it's at the 55.80 mark. So this is significant. We have a pretty tough wall to break through here if we ever get close to it, but we could. But pay close attention to the high of today and the things that I'm pointing at you right now, the areas of resistance on our way up. And the other thing that I see here is that we are still above the 8 moving average, which is acting as a significant area of support. As you can see here, we are still above it. We are still bouncing off of it. And the 8 moving average is here in green. This is the line that I'm showing you here and that I'm talking about. So that is what I see here. But the other thing that I see here that could be happening is that if we ever go lower, if we ever break through the low of August 12th, which was at the 52.88, we could continue lower, but first of all we would have to break through it, as well as break through the 8 moving average, and then we will need to close below it on a confirming volume. So we will need to see a breakout on a confirming volume, so on a much higher volume that you see here right now. And this type of volume, this low volume, is really pretty typical in any high or low base formation. So that is typical. We're building up a steam. We're saving some energy in here for a major breakout. But if we ever break back to the downside, that would be considered a lower swing high in that downtrend that we are still in. We have that high in here of 59.83. That was the high that we made back on July 26th, and now we are making a lower swing high before we go lower and break through the low of August 9th, which was at the 49.93. So that is another scenario that could be happening, that we could be seeing here. But the other thing that I see is that the MACD is slowing down, it's resting. So it's a pretty nice confirmation with the volume that's resting, that's kind of low, which is pretty typical, as I said here, in high and low base formation. So we're building up a steam and we're getting for a major move one way or the other. So this is what I see here happening on our chart today. And that is what we see here on the MACD. The MACD is resting and the volume is low, really low, way below the average. So what we need to pay close attention to, what we need to look for is a breakout on a pretty high volume. We need to see a spike in volume if we see a breakout. Alright, so hope it helps you. Have a wonderful day and I'll see you guys again tomorrow.